The Host. From the Book to the Movie. By Stephanie Meyer. Main characters. Souls. Wanderer. The Seeker. Humans/Rebels. Melanie Strider. Jared. Ian. Jamie. Uncle Jeb. Seekers. Seekers are the aliens who capture the bodies of humans and put souls in their bodies. Souls search memories to find other humans. Wanderer. Wanderer. Soul in the body of Melanie Strider. Wanderer has not lived on the same host's planet. Melanie. One of last few humans to avoid capture by Seekers. Melanie tried to commit suicide when pursued by Seekers. Revived by the soul's advanced medicine and implanted with Wanderer. In love with Jared. Jared was in love with Melanie before Melanie became host. Jared has to figure out if he still loves Melanie or not. Jared. Ian. Ian is in love with Wanderer. Ian tried to kill Wanderer because he doesn't want the rebel hideout found by Seekers. Jamie. Jamie is the little brother of Melanie. Finds out that Melanie is still in her own body controlled by Wanderer. Hi. Uncle Jeb is the one who finds Wanderer in the desert after her getaway from the Seekers. The Host rating. I gave this book 5 stars for the way the author Stephanie Meyer write the book with exceptional characters. http://www.google.de/emgrace?q equals the plus host &um equals 1 safe equals active &rls equals com.microsoft n-s and hill equals d and by equals 1152 and by equals 667 and tbm equals ish and need equals b5 gtl 6 wrxb and tpm in gray furl equals http://www.thehostmovienews.com/2013/02/pg-1/3-rating-for-the-host/& beside equals xp5 coin & girl equals http://www.thehostmovienews.com/wp-content/uploads/2013/01/host-banner-1063055.jpg_w equals 192.0 EI equals A3R2 and for Zoom equals 1 EACT equals RC dur equals 218 page equals 4 TBNH equals 135 TBNW equals 270 start equals 72 NDSE equals 27 VED equals 1 T 429 R 73 S 0 I 304 and TX equals 126 and TI equals 75. http://www.google.de/emgrace?q equals the plus host equals 1 safe equals active &rls equals com.microsoft n-s and hill equals d and by equals 1152 and by equals 667 and tbm equals ish and need equals l8 to 886m in gray furl equals http://zooplug.blogspot.com/2012/1/butresention-host.html & beside equals evios 0 uovm in girl equals http://1 equals 344 ampersand page equals 1 ampersand TBNH equals 144 ampersand TBNW equals 96 ampersand start equals 0 ampersand NDSE equals 25 ampersand VET equals 1 T 429 R 0 S 0 I 80 and TX equals 52 and TI equals 82. http://www.google.de/ and question mark q equals 5 plus stars ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand sa equals n ampersand rls equals com.microsoft NS, that is minus search box, and hill equals the and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals berg 9u underscore mtg1 mjvm ampersand in gray furl equals http://historyguide.com/5-star-military.htm ampersand beside equals y60-au0wxqi4m ampersand in girl equals http://historyguide.com/5stars.gif ampersand w equals 652 ampersand h equals 599 ampersand ei equals zav5 ubaspobe 4 asli 4 hida ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals hc ampersand vpx equals 368 ampersand vpy equals 207 ampersand dur equals 94 ampersand hov equals 215 ampersand hub equals 234 ampersand tx equals 132 ampersand ty equals 112 ampersand page equals 1 ampersand tbnh equals 145 ampersand tbnw equals 158 ampersand start equals 0 ampersand ndse equals 15 ampersand ved equals 1 t 429 r 12 s 0 I 119 http://www.google.de/ and grays question mark q equals the plus host plus seekers ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand sa equals n ampersand rls equals com.microsoft NS, that is minus search box, and hill equals the and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals pj underscore 1 csvxd3x7m ampersand in gray furl equals http://thehostmoviefans.blogspot.com/2013/anu-image-of-seeker.html ampersand beside equals cjc0 underscore z7fj678am and girl equals http://4.bp.blogspot.com/e1rl underscore iy4gs/rot42hfd-i/mmcxnhex0way/s1600/the host underscore seeker underscore 1920x1200.jpg ampersand w equals 1600 ampersand h equals 1000 ampersand ei equals uqv5 used xism 4gtm1 yadab ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand deact equals rc ampersand page equals 1 ampersand tbnh equals 140 ampersand tbnw equals 284 ampersand start equals 0 and ndse equals 16 and ved equals 1 t 429 r 4 s 0 I 95 and tx equals 75 and ti equals 7 and dir equals 437. http://www.google.de/mgraze?q equals the plus host plus uncle plus jeb ampersand um equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand sa equals n ampersand rls equals com.microsoft NS, that is minus search box, and hill equals d and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals alxsbjz32wmtm. Ampersand and gray furl equals http://geekoutlaw.com/movie-review-the-host-lax-the-novel/ampersand beside equals yo2d0m9tt1ykbm and girl equals http://geekoutlaw.com/wp-content/upload/2013/04/uncle-jeb-the-host.jpg ampersand w equals 615 ampersand h equals 462 ampersand ei equals haz5 icdo 8 ai4 gtjg4 cab ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals rc ampersand dur equals 172 ampersand page equals 1 ampersand tbnh equals 123 ampersand tbnw equals 151 ampersand start equals 0 ampersand ndse equals 16 ampersand ved equals 1t 429 r1 s 0 I 86 and tx equals 87 and ti equals 66. http://www.google.de/mgraze?q equals the plus host plus jamie ampersand um equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand sa equals n ampersand hl equals de ampersand rls equals com.microsoft ns. That is minus search box, and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals ddrgidrbpcjmcm. Ampersand and gray furl equals http://www.blast.ary.com/2013/02/anu-the-host-stills-jamie-str divided by ampersand beside equals fnxf_as3xi_m and girl equals http://www.blastdiary.com/wp-content/upload/the-host_jamie_160x12000-1068.jpg ampersand w equals 1024 ampersand h equals 768 ampersand ei equals eaz5 uy and 6142t07 it ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals rc and page equals 1 and tbnh equals 148 and tbnw equals 221 and start equals 0 and ndse equals 17 and ved equals 1t 429 r5 s 0 I 98 and tx equals 94 and ti equals 65. http://10.0.138.20081/cgi/block.cgi?url equals http://www.google.de/mgraze?q equals the plus host plus in ampersand start equals 100 ampersand um equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand sa equals n ampersand hl equals de ampersand rls equals com.microsoft ns. That is minus search box, and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals mbr1i17 geek2m. ampersand in gray furl equals http://vk.com/recopulation ampersand beside equals a5j7n underscores cum and girl equals http://cs305114.vk.me/v3051142388/7939/topbnpjmhls.jpg ampersand w equals 500 ampersand h equals 208 ampersand ei equals 6gz5 used bin 4 ag ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals rc ampersand dur equals 31 ampersand page equals 6 ampersand tbnh equals 139 ampersand tbnw equals 278 ampersand ndse equals 22 ampersand ved equals 1 t 429 r 20 s 100 I 64 and tx equals 98 ampersand ty equals 57 ampersand ip equals 10.6.116.43 ampersand cat equals dogsub ampersand user equals uds.iamadalin.massey ampersand ce equals 0. http://www.google.de/mgrace?mark q equals the plus host plus jared ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand hl equals de ampersand rls equals com.microsoft ns that is minus search box and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals iyfyjwvlsrl or underscore m ampersand in gray furl equals http://www.amctheaters.com/movie-news/2013/01/second-character-poster-revealed-for- the beside equals rmlblg forge fumim and girl equals http://cdn.amctheaters.com/media/default/images/host %2520 poster %2520 p3.jpg ampersand w equals 620 ampersand h equals 323 ampersand ei equals egd5 uicvium 3480 underscore 6 ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals hc ampersand vpx equals 683 ampersand vpy equals 137 ampersand dur equals 62 ampersand hov equals 162 ampersand hov equals 311 ampersand tx equals 254 ampersand ty equals 107 ampersand page equals 3 ampersand tbnh equals 146 ampersand tbnw equals 231 ampersand start equals 40 ampersand ndse equals 25 and ved equals 1 t 429 r 57 s 0 I 256 http://www.google.de/mgrace?mark q equals the plus host plus melanie ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand hl equals de ampersand rls equals com.microsoft ns that is minus search box and by equals 1040 and by equals 557 and tbm equals ish and need equals mkuul 25 vzm ampersand in gray furl equals http://media.theapilus.com/d4-i2-1ng-k4-l2-2fv/swires-melanie-strider-in-the-host HTML and beside equals youth as 03 is minus xm and girl equals http://media.theapilus.com/b00000/d4/hl/c/i2-1ng/k4/l2-2fv/s6/t3/u1/ws/y04/swires-ronan-as-melanie-strider-in cn-the-host.jpg ampersand w equals 1024 ampersand h equals 768 ampersand ei equals lqt5 use 66k4 gsb xocgaw ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals rc ampersand dur equals 141 ampersand page equals 3 ampersand tbnh equals 164 ampersand tbnw equals 242 ampersand start equals 37 and ndse equals 22 and ved equals 1 t 429 r 53 s 0 I 244 and tx equals 110 and tie equals 86. http://10.0.138.200.81/cgi/block.cgi?url equals http://www.google.de/and q equals the plus host plus Melanie ampersand start equals 557 ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand hl equals de ampersand rls equals com.microsoft NS, that is minus search box, and by equals 1040, and by equals 557, and tbm equals ish, and need equals zgawavlk53m, ampersand in gray furl equals http://pure-potential.deviantart.com/art divided by the minus host minus Stephanie minus Meyer minus 165,854,468 and decide equals AEBPLCNXS13NRM and mgirl equals http://fc008.deviantart.net/f717/f/201///the_a//f/the_pure_potential.jpg ampersand w equals 659 ampersand h equals 1000 ampersand ei equals nqh5 used -qn4gs3x4cqdq ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand eact equals hc ampersand vpx equals 608 ampersand vpy equals 73 ampersand dur equals 327 ampersand hov equals 277 ampersand hov equals 182 and tx equals 104 and tie equals 187 and page equals 28 and tbnh equals 136 and tbnw equals 89 and ndse equals 22 and ved equals 1 t 429 r 66 s 500 I 202 and IP equals 10.6.116.43 ampersand cat equals xart ampersand user equals uds.eamadalin.massey ampersand ce equals 0. http://www.google.de/and q equals the plus host plus Melanie ampersand start equals 419 ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand hl equals de ampersand rls equals com.microsoft NS, that is minus search box, and by equals 1040, and by equals 557, and tbm equals ish, and need equals mlrjhpdhyxledm, ampersand in gray furl equals http://www.calgaryherald.com/entertainment/review plus raging plus aliens plus cimarron plus hormones plus star plus host/8166520/story.html ampersand beside equals dern-bfv4c4km ampersand in girl equals http://www.calgaryherald.com/entertainment/cms/binary/8166521.jpg %3 size %3d620x400s ampersand w equals 620 ampersand h equals 400 ampersand ei equals uah5 uzxjdmfv4qsv2ih4dw ampersand zoom equals 1 ampersand ampersand Act equals RC ampersand DUR equals 171 ampersand Page equals 21 ampersand TBNH equals 137 ampersand TBNW equals 209 ampersand NDSE equals 20 ampersand VED equals 1T 429 R 33 S 400 I 103 and TX equals 79 and TI equals 84. http://www.google.de/and Q equals the +host ampersand start equals 96 ampersand equals 1 ampersand safe equals active ampersand SA equals N ampersand RLS equals com.microsoft. N-S and hill equals D and by equals 792 and by equals 425 and TBM equals ish and need equals QJT 865 BW4E3MXM ampersand in gray furl equals http://www.thehost-movie-news.com/2012/1//the-next-the-next-breaking-dawn-party-2 divided by ampersand beside equals REJOXGHGNKJ2ZM and mgirl equals http://www.thehost-movie-news.com/wp-content/uploads/2012/04/thehost.jpg ampersand W equals 400 ampersand H equals 616 ampersand EI equals 9xJ5 udra by 24 ast 44 HE ampersand Zoom equals 1 ampersand Act equals RC ampersand DUR equals 62 ampersand Page equals 9 ampersand TBNH equals 142 ampersand TBNW equals 102 ampersand NDSE equals 12 ampersand VED equals 1T 429 R 6 S 100 I 22 and TX equals 45 and TI equals 64.